We're doing a posterior chain session, which means all of the muscles down the back, and also a little bit of balance first. So if you've got a squidgy mat and your balance isn't good, step off of it and do it on the floor. If your balance is good, then try doing it on the mat. So as we go along, if you're feeling pretty good, then start off on the mat, and then if you're struggling to balance on the mat, then step off. You've got the option. I'm stepping off. My balance is not good, and I'd rather not embarrass myself in front of all of you. But however, some of you will improve your balance. So, so watch someone else, not me. Okay. Good. So let's start off finding our feet under our hips. Our usual starting position. Good. Just take a second to spread the weight of the body evenly under the soles of the feet. So spread your toes, wiggle to left and right, and onto the balls of the feet, and then onto the heels. Since we're working on balance, we really need a nice stable base. Good. Keep those knees nice and soft. So just make sure they're not locked out. They don't need to be really bent. They just don't want them locked out, so that all the strain goes through the muscles and they're ready to move and adjust. Tuck the tail underneath and press it down towards the floor, and then lift your spine up nice and tall. Press your shoulders down and backwards and relax your arms just down by your sides. Lovely. Tuck the chin in softly, and then lift the crown of your head right up towards the ceiling, growing a little bit taller, stretching yourself out. Good. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. And again. And out. In again. And then when you breathe out, tighten up your tummy and bring your belly button towards your spine. And then release that as you breathe in. And again, really important for balance that you remember to tighten up your tummy. Okay, now as we breathe out, we're just going to lift one foot off the floor. So we're going to start off with just hovering it. Then we're going to put that back down. And then we're going to go down the side. Good. Just keep that really low. And at the same time, again, don't pay attention to whether I'm doing it or not, because it's really difficult, but try not to sway your body. So as you lift over, automatically you kind of shift your weight over onto that side. Try to hold your weight where it is. So use your tummy muscles to try and hold it still as you lift that foot. A bit of movement is inevitable, but just try to make it as little as possible. Good. Now, depending on how it's going, if it's really difficult and you're struggling, then stay at that level, keep practicing. But if this feels easy and you're quite capable, then start lifting that foot a bit higher. And you can play with how high. So just lift it a little bit higher, and if it's still really easy, then lift it a bit higher. And if your balance is good and you can manage it really good, then bring that knee right up. Also try to control when it comes down. Don't just release it and let gravity let it go flying back to the ground. You're in charge of it. Good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. So allow your ankle to adjust. Let it move and adjust, trying to hold your balance. Good. Good. Okay, kick that leg out to the side now. And back down. Good. Again, make sure you tighten your tummy as that leg kicks up, and lift the pelvic floor with that leg kicking wide. That's it. Good. Just one more. Good. Now we're going to do a semicircle on the floor. So the toes touching the floor all the time. So stay on the left leg. So point that forward and then breathe out and circle it to the back. Breathe in and circle it to the front. Good. Now with that contact with the floor and with it going in a circle, it's a lot harder for your core to hold yourself nice and stable. So your right ankle is going to be working hard and your right glute to try and hold you nice and still. Make sure you include your tummy muscles as that slides around. Good. Try to get the weight of the body traveling down that right leg. So the left leg, however it's touching the ground, it isn't really putting any pressure onto the floor. If that leg is being really heavy, then it's going to be harder as it moves. So try to keep that left leg nice and light. You really feeling it in the right leg? Yeah. All right, let's make this the last one then. All right, let's switch legs. Well done. Shake the right one out a little bit. All right. So we're standing on the left leg now. And point it forward and breathe out to bring it back. And then bring it forward. Good. Make sure that left leg, the knee isn't locked. It's still a little bit soft. This is my stroke affected leg, so it's harder for me to balance on this leg. Good. Good. You really feeling that in the left leg? Yeah? Just a couple more. Last one. Oh, well done. Good job. Okay, shake it out. Good job. All right, grab your long band. Okay, so we're going to hold this in our hands. So have 90-degree bend at the elbow. That's it. Perfect. So make sure that that band is relatively tight and not like really looped, so that as we go along, we're stretching the band, okay? So again, in this one, we can adjust how close your hands are. So if you're really struggling stretching it out, you make it loop a little bit so that you can stretch it out more easily. So have a go, and then we're going to see how we get on, okay? So take a nice big deep breath in. Then as we breathe out, we're going to do 3 puffs. So it's, and then straighten it. Good. So 2 little ones and then a big one. Good. And as we do that, try to squeeze those shoulder blades together. So it's pushing out and then it's really squeezing those shoulder blades together. So if that feels a bit too easy, either come and switch your band for a more difficult one or bring those hands a bit closer together. And if it's a bit hard, come switch your band for an easier one or make your hands a little bit further apart. Good. But you should be able to feel the shoulder blades really squeezing as you puff that backwards. Good. Two more. Last one. Good, okay. Pop the band under your right foot now, and then bring your legs really wide with the toes pointing out to the corners of the room. Good. So you probably need to, well, if you're tall, especially, you need to hold on the very end of the band. If you're a bit shorter than me, you might be able to go a bit further down. And again, we can adjust how far down we're going to hold it, depending on how hard we want to make this move, okay? So take a nice breath in, bend the right knee, and bring your hands down towards the ankle. And then breathe out, straighten that leg, come up and twist that over your shoulder. That's where you want the band long. Okay, breathe in, bring it down, and breathe out and bring it over your shoulder. Good. So the left leg stays straight all the time, but the right one bends right down as you come, bring your hands down towards the ankle. Good. And again, if you're finding it too easy, bring your hands a bit further down. If you're finding it a bit difficult, then lengthen the band. One more, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Good, okay, switch it to the left leg. So as you breathe in, we're bending the left leg, come down towards the ankle. And then breathing out to lift right up. Okay, so breathe in, lower down. Breathe out, come up and twist. Good. Good. Two more. Good. Lose the band. We're finished with those today. Good. And bring your feet back under your hips. Okay, and another balance exercise. So again, step off the mat if you like. So find your feet back under your hips again. Spread the weight evenly under the soles of both feet. Take a nice big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just lift up onto tiptoes. And then slowly lower it back down as you breathe in. Keep it nice and slow. It's easy enough to get onto tiptoes if you're doing it quick and then going straight back down. It's quite tricky if you're doing it really slowly. Good. So as you're going up, you're breathing out and tighten up your tummy. It really helps with the balance. If you can track the tummy muscles, the core working hard to hold you nice and stable. Good. Keep it slow. Good. Okay, as you come down, squeeze your heels together. So we're lifting and lowering now in this penguin stance, keeping the heels together. So as you breathe out, lift up and lower, still keeping the heels together and the knees pointing outwards. Good. So as you come down, be deliberate about trying to squeeze those heels together. Otherwise, as you come down, you're going to go down a little bit straighter than when you went up. That's it. Good. Can you really feel your ankles working?
Everything's working.
Everything's working, excellent. You glad you're here? Just one more. Really good, well done everybody. Okay, you can come down to your mat and lay down now. Feel free to tuck a cushion, a towel or a head block under your head. Just make sure that if that brings your head into a good alignment, so you're looking directly up at the ceiling, you're not looking overhead or down at the floor. Plant your feet into your mat. Make sure you've got a little bit of a space between the feet and the knees. And around 90-degree bend behind the back of the knee. Give your pelvis a little bit of a wriggle up and down and find that neutral position where the flat back part of the pelvis is lying nice and flat against the mat. And that's creating a little curve under the lower spine. So your lower spine isn't pressing down into the mat and it's also not lifting right up to the ceiling. It should be able to slide a little piece of paper under your lower spine, but not much more. Keep your shoulders away from your ears and the shoulder blades are retracted. So the shoulder blades are lying nice and flat against the mat underneath you. And then bring your hands to the back of the head and lightly lace the fingertips together. We're going to look at the head hover and the chest lift. So head hover first. When we breathe out, we're going to contract just the upper abdominal muscles. So imagining we're trying to bring our lower rib cage down towards our belly button. And then we're going to release it as we breathe in. So take a nice big deep breath in and breathe out and tighten those upper abdominal muscles and then release it as you breathe in. So you might not really notice anything, there might not be much movement, but your head might start to feel a little bit lighter in your hands and a little bit more like it's resting on a comfy pillow or a cloud. That's because where we're contracting the upper abdominal muscles, we're just slightly shortening the front of the body and keeping the back of the body long. So there's a possibility that your head might actually lift right off the floor if your tummy muscles are really strong. But please don't aim to lift the head, aim to contract the tummy muscles. And if the head comes up, that's fine. That's why your hands are there. Just don't involve your neck muscles or your elbows or your hands to try to lift your head. Just focus on really tightening just those upper abdominal muscles and then releasing it as you breathe in. As we do these, we also need to maintain our neutral spine position. So just while we're doing the head hover, it probably isn't trying to move your lower spine, but when we go into chest lift, it is going to try to flatten into the floor. So we really got to work hard to hold that position, that little curve under the lower spine. So let's move into chest lift now. So as we breathe out, we're tightening all of the tummy muscles and then peeling the shoulder blades off of the floor and lifting the head so that we're looking between our knees. And then again, lowering back down. So this time the head's definitely lifting. But again, please don't try to pull your head using your hands. It's not good for your neck. So keep that nice and relaxed and rely on your tummy muscles. If you rely on your tummy muscles and it's not strong enough, instead of involving other muscles, just let your body struggle a little bit, just using the tummy muscles, because then the brain's going to get the message that the tummy muscles need to be a bit stronger and they'll grow stronger for next week. Okay, lower that back down. Release those hands from the back of your head and reach them up towards the ceiling with your palms facing towards your knees. So what you can see right up towards the ceiling is the backs of your hands. So this is a bit of a chest lift variation now. So as we breathe out, we're going to reach our hands towards our knees. So take a deep breath in to prepare and breathe out. Really reach those hands up. And then lower it back down as you breathe in. So again, try to maintain your neutral spine position. But by reaching with your hands, you might be able to lift yourself a little bit higher than you were able to a minute ago. By just reaching those hands up. Now, if you feel quite strong today, there is a progression that you can attempt or try. So if you like, you can lift those legs into tabletop, test it with your hands, make sure that your knees aren't too close or too far away. So you want your arms outstretched and the elbows are soft, so the elbows aren't blocked and they're not too bent. So the same move, so the hands up towards the ceiling, and then as you breathe out, reaching towards your knees again, and then lowering yourself back down. Again, a little bit harder to hold the neutral spine position. Oh, look at you all try it. So if you're trying it and it's going well, that's excellent. But if at any point you're finding it a bit harder, or you managed a couple, but now you're struggling, then just bring those feet back to the mat. That's not a bad position to be in. That means you're working the muscles to exhaustion, which is when your muscles start growing stronger. So don't worry if you've had to put your feet back on the floor, it's good. I won't make you do it until everyone's feet are on the floor, don't worry. Not today. All right, let's make this the last one. Good, now hug those knees into your chest. Take the release. Give those knees a wriggle, in and out, left and right, circle them, whatever feels good. Just massage your back into the mat. Good, okay, bring the left foot to the mat and did I say the left one? Sorry, right one. And the left one right up towards the ceiling. And plant your arms really strongly into the mat. So take a nice big deep breath in. Now flex that foot, and as you breathe out, float it down towards the floor, and then point the toe and breathe in to bring it into your center and then back up towards the ceiling. Then flex the foot, breathe out and float it down. So again, try to maintain your neutral spine position. So as that leg comes in and up, your lower spine is going to try to press down into the floor. And then as that heel floats out, the lower spine is going to try to lift. So try to resist that. Try to hold that neutral position and try to hold it nice and still. As that flexed foot floats down towards the floor, really press that heel out. Now, if this feels quite easy and you're feeling quite strong, then you can lift the right leg into tabletop and just hold that leg hovering there as the other leg circles. Good. Now we're just going to reverse the circle. So that leg floating along the mat, then the flexing the foot as it comes up towards the ceiling, then point the toe, bring it into your center, out along the mat, then flex the foot as it comes up. Good. Good, okay, now put the left leg down into the mat and let's work with the right leg. So point it up towards the ceiling, flex the foot and breathe out to float it down just above the mat. Good, point the toe to bring it in and up. And then flex the foot to float it down. And again, if you're feeling quite strong and able today, then you can lift the left leg up into tabletop and just let it hover there above the hip, making it harder, making you work the core a little bit stronger to hold that neutral spine position. So that lower spine isn't pressing into the mat or lifting up towards the ceiling. Good, and reverse that. Two more. And hug the knees in. Good. This is when it gets fun. Because we're going to work both legs at the same time. So, we're going to challenge our brains. Yes. Okay, so let's start with the left leg pointing up towards the ceiling and the right leg along the floor, just hovering above the floor. Good. So flex the left foot and point the right. So the left leg then is coming down towards the floor as the right one comes into your center and up. And then switch the feet. So the one that was pointing is then flexing. The one that was flexing is now pointing. Oh, that's the difficult bit. So the only time you're flexing the foot is when that heel is pressing out, when it's going from the ceiling to hovering above the mat. And just to make it a little bit harder, let's reverse that. Let's go backwards. See if you can figure out what you're doing now. Good, hug your knees into your chest, well done. Very impressive. Good job. Okay, plant your feet back onto the floor. Good, okay. Lift those arms and brace them so they're just hovering just above the mat by your sides. Take a nice breath in, and as we breathe out, we're going to lift into the chest lift position so that we're looking between our knees. Hold the neutral spine position. Then we're going to twist to try to touch our left heel, and then we're going to twist and try and touch the right one, and then you can lower down. And then breathe out, lift up again, do that again. Now, if you feel more comfortable in the chest lift position and you can hold it for longer, then hold it for longer and keep going left to right. If you're finding it really hard, holding that while you go left and right, then lift yourself up and reach towards the left, bring back to the center, and then lower yourself back down, then lift up again and twist to the right, twist back to the center and back down again. Good. So however long you're staying up, anytime you feel too much tension in your neck, then lower yourself down, turn your head to left and right before lifting back up again. Okay, good. Lower your head back down and relax your arms back down. Great. So we're going to go into a move that I don't do very often because it's really difficult, but it's one of my favourites. So you have to indulge me every now and then. So bring both legs up towards the ceiling. So this time it's the opposite of the head hover. So it's just squeezing the lower abdominal muscles. So really imagine that section from your belly button towards your hips is a wet sponge, and we're really trying to squeeze it out. You can sway your legs to help you with a bit of momentum, that's fine. But really strongly press your arms down into the floor. So take a nice big deep breath in. And as we breathe out, lower the legs just a touch. And then bring it up towards your head and try to lift your bottom off the floor. Breathe in and stretch those legs out a little, and then bring them over a little bit. So if you are really lovely and strong, you might be able to bring those legs all the way over you so that your legs are horizontal and your bottom and your back have lifted off the floor, and then lower that down carefully. Then you can reach those legs out to 45 degrees before going again. Good. So again, there's going to be a lot of variety in ability. So don't worry if your bottom's barely lifting off the floor, that's fine. You're just working your muscles. But if any of you are managing to bring those legs horizontal, the next stage is flex the feet. Separate those legs a little and see if you can touch those toes down on the floor behind you. Depends on how flexible you are. Then lift your legs back up, bring the legs parallel again, point the toes, carefully lower your back down onto the mat and reach the legs out to 45 degrees. I feel like when I was a child, I didn't even know this was a move, but I used to like doing stuff like this when I was a kid. So I like to revisit it every now and then. Lovely, make this your last one. Well done. Hug those knees into your chest then. And then grab your loop band. We're going to turn onto our sides. Just pop your loop band under your knee. Okay, so hips and shoulders at the back of the mat, legs out straight, and our toes at the front corner of the mat. And you can lower your head down to rest on your arm, or pop a cushion or a towel on your arm to rest your head on, or lift your head up onto your hand. Just make sure that you're not pulling your head forward. Pop your top hand onto the mat in front of you to help you balance, but then just have a look at your pelvis. So automatically we tend to lie with our pelvis rocked back a little bit because that is more stable. That balances us better. So have a little look at it and bring it forward if you need to make sure the top hip bone is directly above the bottom one. And then pop that hand on the mat in front of you. So try to hold that position with the pelvis, don't let it rock backwards. So take a nice big deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to lift that top leg, regretting that strong band I've got, and lower it back down as you breathe in. Good. So it's a lot harder to lift that leg high, and that's fine. Just make sure the band isn't round your knee joint. So we want it just below the knee joint. Below, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Above the knee, yeah, is a bit easier. But again, with this, we can adjust the difficulty. So if you want it a bit harder, put it further down towards your ankle. And if it's too hard, you can bring it above your knee joint. That would make it easier for you. Let's do 3 more. Well done. Now bend those knees. Now we're going to go into clamshell. So again, ideally we want the band just below the knee. So take a nice big deep breath in, put that top hand on the top of the pelvis so we can feel if it's trying to move, and then breathe out and lift that knee out and then lower it back down as you breathe in. Good. So really stretch it against that band. If it's too difficult, move it further down towards your ankles. If it's too easy, pop it just above the knee, and that will make it a little bit harder, because most of our thighs are a little bit bigger than our calves. So that will hold the band a little bit tighter. Good. So as soon as you can feel the band, don't stop there. Press against it. Try to stretch that band out with the knee. One more. Lovely. Let's change ends. So the legs out straight first. Just make sure your hips and your shoulders are at the back of the mat and your toes at the front, so there's a little bit of a bend in the body. Just have a glance down at your pelvis, make sure it hasn't rocked backwards, and then pop the top hand on the mat in front of you. Good. Take a nice big deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lift that top leg and lower it back down as you breathe in. Lovely. Good. And again, you can adjust the resistance from the band by moving it further up or further down. Don't worry about how high your leg is moving or how low it's moving. The muscles are really working, pressing against that band. Good. 2 more. Good. Now bend those knees, tuck those toes to the back. Take a nice breath in, pop that top hand on the top of the pelvis, and breathe out and lift the knee and lower it down. Good. So again, the band just below the knee. But if the band is a bit too difficult, then you can move it a bit further down. That's fine. Good. Are you feeling that in your glutes? Yeah. Last one. Well done. Okay, we can lose the band now. So take it off your legs. We're finished with that. And turn over onto your front into our all-four kneeling position. Good. Excellent. Okay, so from this position, we're going to reach those knees a bit further out. So keeping our weight forwards so that our hands stay under our shoulders until we're a nice straight line from our knees to our shoulders. So make sure that your arms are going straight down and that they're not reaching out in front of you. And we're going to hold that position. Now, if you're feeling a bit stronger, you can tuck the toes under and lift yourself into a full plank. Just make sure your tail is tucked under and you're a nice straight line from your shoulders to your heels. And you can just hold that for a moment. Make sure your bottom isn't sticking right up. Excellent. Okay, bring those knees back down to the mat and then just step the left foot forward between both hands. Keep those hands down at the mat and then wiggle the right knee further back. So we're going to keep our hands down, just stretching out the back leg. You should feel now a bit of a stretch down the right thigh. If you're not feeling it, then really press your body forwards to feel it. Yeah, feeling that? Yeah. Almost doing the splits. Lovely. Step that foot back to the back and we're going to go back into a plank again. So again, make sure that your shoulders are directly over your hands. Don't let your shoulders slip backwards and wriggle those knees back out and lower your bottom. Tuck the tail underneath. And again, if you're feeling strong, tuck the toes under and lift yourself into a full plank. But keep the bottom down. So a nice straight line from the heels to the shoulders. Lower the knees back to the mat and step the right foot forward between the hands and wiggle the left knee further back.
That leg was in front last time.
Was it? Okay. And again, press that forwards. You should feel a bit of a stretch down the back of the thigh. Stretching out the hip flexor. You might find one side is tighter than the other. That's normal. If this is the tighter side, then give it a bit more of a stretch, encourage it. Good. Bring that leg back again and lower yourself onto your tummy. With your hands by your sides. You can rest your forehead on the mat or on a cushion, a head block or a towel, whatever suits you. And bring your legs together. We're just going to start with the top half. So as we breathe in, we're going to lift the arms, pressing the palms up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to lift the head and the shoulders, so we're looking ahead. And then lower it back down, sigh it back down to the mat as you breathe out. And then breathe in and lift. Make sure you contract your tummy muscles as well. Don't leave your back on its own. Your back and your tummy need to work together as a pair. Good. Lift the chest as high as you can. Now, if you feel quite strong in this move, you've got good, nice, strong back muscles, then we can add the legs at the same time. So squeeze the legs together, lift it from the hip. Press those toes as far away as you can. Good, 2 more. Good, rest yourself back down. Bring your left hand in a fist under the left shoulder and bring the left elbow up. Good. So that elbow is going to stay in position. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, we're just going to straighten that elbow to release that arm, and then tuck it back under. Trying not to move the upper arm. So it's just the elbow joint that's moving as we're reaching that arm out and then tucking it back under. 2 more of these. Good, and then switch arms. So the right hand in a fist under the shoulder, the elbow nice and high but tucked into your side. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, just straighten it out, and then tuck it back under. Two more. Good, both hands under the shoulders, legs nice and wide. Lift yourself up off the mat and then press your tail back towards your heels. Bring the toes together, keep the knees wide. And then lower your chest down towards the mat. Keep your tail pressed down by your heels. And then walk your fingertips out to lower your chest a bit more. And then lower your head. Don't just lower your head straight down to the mat. Lower it so that your ears are by your biceps. And take a really nice deep breath in. Keep pressing your tail back to your heels. And again, another breath. And one more. Good. Lift and release yourself out that position. And find a comfortable position to relax in. Well done. Oh, the relief. Well done. Yes. It is the right thing. Great. So grab a drink and another layer if you like. Let's try one for 6. We'll see. All right. This is your little reward for all your effort, isn't it? You get to be left alone. All right. So gently close your eyes. Imagine yourself walking along a sandy path. The warm sun bathing your skin in a golden glow. The air is filled with the promise of the sea, and the gentle lapping of waves grows louder and more rhythmic with each step. As you ascend a small dune, a breathtaking panorama unfolds before you. A vast, tranquil ocean stretches out, its surface shimmering like 1,000 diamonds under the midday sun. The sky, a canvas of soft, clear blue, is adorned with fluffy white clouds drifting lazily across the horizon, casting gentle shadows on the water below. Feel the fine, warm sand beneath your bare feet, and listen to the rhythmic crashing of the waves as they embrace the shore, each one a gentle pulse of the ocean's life. The air carries the distinct salty scent of the sea, and a gentle breeze caresses your face, carrying with it the calls of seabirds soaring gracefully overhead. Their cries form a soothing melody, a natural symphony of the sea, a constant, calming backdrop to your relaxation. Find a comfortable spot on the warm, yielding sand and allow yourself to sink into its softness. Feel the tension melting away from your body as you gaze out at the boundless expanse of the ocean. Watch as the waves gently roll in, each one a rhythmic pulse of peace and tranquility, washing away any stress, any worry, any lingering tension, leaving you feeling utterly calm and refreshed. The sun warms your skin, imbuing you with a gentle, comforting heat, while the breeze cools your face, creating a perfect balance of warmth and coolness. Allow yourself to be fully immersed in this seaside sanctuary, feeling the profound peace and tranquility of the ocean. Let the hypnotic sounds of the waves lull you into a state of deep restorative relaxation. And allow your mind to wander freely, unburdened by thought. Notice the gentle changes in the colours of the ocean as the sun shifts, the way the light dances on the water's surface, creating a mesmerising spectacle of light and shadow. Observe the gentle sway of the seaweed as it moves with the tide, and the tiny shells scattered along the shoreline, each one a miniature work of art, a testament to the ocean's artistry. Feel the rhythm of the ocean resonate within you, mirroring the rhythm of your own breath. Slow and steady, a gentle ebb and flow. Allow yourself to be completely absorbed by this beautiful place. Letting go of any sense of time or urgency, imagine feeling the gentle spray of the ocean mist on your skin and the cool, damp sands beneath your fingertips. Stay here, soaking in the serenity of this oceanic sanctuary. Allow yourself to fully unwind and recharge, feeling the profound peace of the sea permeate every cell of your being. As you remain here, feel your body becoming heavier, sinking deeper into the sand, and your mind becoming lighter, drifting further into relaxation. Allow the sound of the ocean to fill your mind and gently bring you into a state of deep tranquility. Now begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin and the soft sand beneath you. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes and slowly begin to move your body. Take a few deep breaths, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. When you're ready, bring yourself up to seated and then up to standing to finish off. Good, let's find our feet back under our hips just to finish up. Good, take a second to spread the weight of the body under the soles of both feet. Keep those knees nice and soft. Tuck the tail underneath and press it down towards the ground. Lift the spine up nice and tall. Shoulders down and back, arms hanging heavy by your sides. Gently tuck your chin in and press the top of your head up towards the ceiling, growing a little bit taller. Lovely. Take a nice big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, nice deep breath in and a slow breath out. Lovely. Well done, everybody. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. I wouldn't be able to do this without you.